Hey, what's going on everyone? RedX is back with another RedX review of epic proportions. I know we were going to do some SH figure arts this week, but I've changed my mind and I'm moving on with something that's kind of out of the norm, even though it's in the same genre of the stuff I review. This is a massive letdown. These figures have no right to be in my collection at this moment. As a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to get rid of these. But I figured I'd let you guys see some of my what the fuck genre. So, be that as it may, let's just get this over with. If you don't know what these are, I will tell you what these are. These are the 5-inch Power Rangers Ninja Storm Fall Wave figures. They were entitled Ninja Battle. For one particular reason only. As you are seeing right here, they are wearing their ninja disguises. And they're not really that good either. From up close, well, yeah, sure, up close. From a glance, they look pretty good for what they are. Don't get me wrong, I will give Bandai props there. Until you take a look at the back and then you realize, what the fuck? I mean, look. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? This kind of reminds me of one of those very old McDonald action figures of the Looney Tunes. The one that had Bugs Bunny dressed up as Superman. I know somebody out there knows what I'm talking about. At least that figure was a two-piece. This is a one-piece. This doesn't work. And you know what else doesn't work about this disguise? Where's the face? It's black. There's nothing in there. I mean, it's what you would come to expect. He's wearing a mask over a helmet with a visor. This is not ninja-esque. This is a waste of some good plastic that could have been. And some of these are actually hard to get off the figures, and I'm afraid that once you put these on, and once they come off, they're going to take the symbols on the figures as well. As you can see, the Red Ranger is having a bit of a bad day when it comes to that. So thank you very much. But as you can see, they are actually very nicely detailed. But putting this back on the Red Ranger for a quick second, because it's like a simple tab and a hole and a tab on the belt. You can notice this as well. These action features are hindered entirely when this thing's on. It reminds me of Goldar from the 2010 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers line. That figure was a statue. They're a statue with these on. So let's just go ahead and take them off and start off with one at a time. And we're going to look at the Red Ranger since he's in my hands anyway. This is the only accessory this one comes with. He actually came with a sword. I do not have that sword, but I do have a picture right here. This is what it looked like. I searched high and low to find that dang sword. I could not find that dang sword, so fuck the dang sword. So, this is what he does. This is his action feature. Yeah, this is fun for about maybe a minute or so, until you realize that the gears are shot. And this is how the figure was originally received. Once this figure was pulled out of the package, just a few clicks at the legs, and that's what I heard. A snap. Just like that. That was terrible. I mean, the engineering on these are terrible. Articulation for the Red Ranger is pretty much what you would expect for a basic figure of this stature. Just a swivel head. A full rotation to the shoulders. He's got some elbow joints. Not every figure of this wave had elbow joints. No wrist swivels, no nothing like that. Waist rotation due to the gimmick, but you're gonna break the figure if you do that. No leg movement, period. Some swivels to the knees, but I guess that's only to get him to balance in certain ways wherever he's standing. So there's that. The Red Ranger is out of the way now. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next one, the Yellow Ranger. Did I also mention that these can't stand for shit? Okay, well, these can't stand for shit. Yellow Ranger is pretty much the same thing to the Red Ranger. This thing right here is a waste of plastic. Just pull it off and set it aside. Here's the Yellow Ranger. Pretty much the same body sculpt as the Red Ranger, except he is lacking some elbow joints. However, He does have some wrist swivels, but that's due to his gimmick. His gimmick is pretty much what you would think. He had a net. He doesn't have the net anymore. I lost the net. I didn't care about the net after it ripped, so I just tossed it to the side, and now I can't find it anymore. But he would take the net, and we would, like, capture a villain or something. So there's that. But I guess it's okay. This is pretty much how weak this figure is, and this is how he was when he was pulled out of the package. What you see in his hands right now are his only included accessories, minus this thing. I don't know what these are. I think they're shurikens. I'm not sure, but they do stand in his hands pretty well. Stand in his hands? They stay in his hands pretty well. So, that's okay. So there's that. I mean, there's not much to go in the terms of articulation. It's pretty much like the Red Ranger minus no elbow joints. So as you can see, he does everything else. It's pretty much the same mold as the Red Ranger. So, yay. So, now that we got that out of the way, let's bring in the Blue Ranger. And boy, oh boy, do I have a lot to say about her. First of all, I want to show you something. Let's just get off of the review for 1 second. This is the package right here. Notice that the Blue Ranger is not on the package anywhere, but all the other core Rangers are. You got all the male Rangers, but not the Blue Ranger. I gotta say, that's pretty damn low, Bandai of America. You couldn't throw the Blue Ranger right there at the top? You couldn't throw her right there at the bottom? Heck, you couldn't even throw her on the back of the packaging. Yeah, sure, that wouldn't look right for only one Ranger on the back, but at least it would show that you were trying to show her some credibility. I mean, come on. She played a major role in the show too, you know. But that being said, that is not my only issue about the Blue Ranger. The other issue is that this piece does not stay on, period. You could try and fight with this thing, which I had for quite some time, and it just does not stay on. I will say this though, it is a bit different considering that she is a female figure. As you can see, she's got a chain that goes around that one half of the ninja piece. And that's it, really. It's just still a waste of plastic. The figure, she gets a little more though. She gets some tops. Granted, her weapons do actually work a bit better, as well as her gimmick. Her gimmick is pretty much this. It kind of reminds me of Beast Wars Transmetals 2 Black Arachnia. Overall, the figure is pretty nice, with the inclusion of some knee joints, and actual moving legs, really, some swivel, elbow joints, no wrist swivels, her waist does rotate, but that's due to the gimmick, and her head turns, so that's pretty good in the terms of articulation for a figure like this, until you see what's on the back. Another what the fuck. I mean, look at this. This is a monstrosity. Look at this. I mean, good freaking God, look at the size of that. This is like a tumor sticking out of her back or something. I don't know what to come of it. I don't know what to say about it. It's just a nightmare to look at. The only really good thing I can say about the Blue Ranger is her weapons actually stay in her hands, and they do look pretty nice. This is what they look like. They actually do combine. There's a peg and a hole, like so. So that's kind of cool. So I'll just take that out of the way and show you what else she comes with. She also comes with this little block piece. It looks like a brick wall. It's not a brick wall. It's too small to be a wall, but this is where her gimmick comes into play. She's able to kick this thing down like that. And you can tell it's her by the way of the color. So there's that. That's the Blue Ranger. Nothing else to say about her. And now we get into the really shitty figures. So here's more of the what the fuck. Let's bring in the Navy Ranger, because at least he has a standpoint of good. So, what can I say about this? No painted belt. I mean, that's not really to be expected. I mean, come on. Look, they actually painted the ninja outfit, if you could call it an outfit. So they didn't even just bother to throw some gold up here. That's kind of a letdown, but it's not really that counts. It's what's on the inside. As you can see, he's got battle damage, which gives the phrase ninja battle, or yeah, battle ninja battle. So that's pretty good for what it is. Very nicely detailed. I'll give him props. So nice job, Bandai America. Until you come to his weapons. His weapons are garbage. They really do not peg into his hands, as you can see right here, if you can see it. He's loaded on stress marks. This peg is ready to break off. So I'm not going to try and risk it. But his gimmick would pretty much be that he performs like a spin attack. And you can actually take his thunder staff with these pegs on here. And take his additional accessory he comes with. Peg that in right there. There's another one he comes with, which pegs in right here. And you've got yourself a very long staff, which is utterly ridiculous. And by utterly ridiculous, I mean it just looks awesome. In a way, it looks awesome. It's too bad that he really can't hold it because of the peg issue. Well, actually, it's working now. What do you know? Shut my mouth. That's his gimmick right there. As you can see, pretty good for what it is until it gets top heavy. Once this piece gets heavy, it weighs down and it just either slips out of his hand or it just knocks his arm down into a placement where it's just touching the floor and it can't spin anymore. So for articulation on the Navy Ranger, it's a swivel head, pretty much full rotation to the shoulders. He's got swivel right here to this hand, nothing here, no elbow joints, no waist joint due to the gimmick, but that's really it. I mean, the legs are just stiff as heck, and they might even break. But, yeah, I guess it's good for what it is. And now, let's get to the Crimson Ranger, which is pretty much the same thing. I don't really have to explain this. I'll just take this piece off, and here you go. Some battle damage. Pretty much the same body mold. Same positions. Well, okay. No, it's not. No, it's not. This is new to me. So, yeah, shut my mouth again. This is a different molded piece. So, okay. Alright, props to Bandai of America for that. It's not the same molded piece, okay. So, that's kind of cool. And then we get to his weapon accessory, which I guess is supposed to be like an upgrade to his Crimson Blaster, which is horrible. This thing, I don't know what in the world this gimmick is supposed to be doing here. Don't get me wrong, the weapon is nicely sculpted for what it is. But this gimmick just, I don't know what he's doing. I just do not know. This piece comes off and you can like fling it. Though, if this is supposed to be like a melee weapon, it's not really that good. He also includes a thunder staff, which is tiny as hell. I am not kidding here. Tiny as hell. It kind of makes you wonder why. And this thing just goes into his left hand. It does not combine with the weapon. This weapon, it does not combine with it. I don't know what purpose this serves besides being just an additional thing. And then he also comes with this. I don't know what. I keep dropping everything today. I don't know what this is, what exactly it's meant to be. I guess it's supposed to be like some kind of spiral drill that attaches to the front. I don't know. I don't care. So, I mean, that's pretty much it for Crimson Ranger. And now we come to the worst figure of the whole entire set. We come to none other than the Green Samurai, one of the coolest Power Rangers of all time, if not the best of Power Rangers Ninja Storm, and this is how he gets treated in a 5-inch action figure form. Horrible. As you can see, he is bulky as hell with this one piece, and not just this, the shield is incomplete. Incomplete. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this piece off right here and just show you how detailed it is and how it's lacking some painted areas. And then here's his combat damage, and as you can see, it is not the same. So okay, props once again to Bandai America until we come to this now. You know what this is. This is his sword and sheath, or the samurai saber, that was in the show. Now, you would think you would be able to separate this piece and have the sword. And that is not the case. This is just one molded piece of PVC plastic that's very flexible, and I guess it's supposed to be like a baseball bat or something, because if I recall in the show, he did use this a couple times as a baseball bat, something like that. Even the gimmick pretty much showed you, if you could see it. Yeah, this is very weak of a gimmick. It's supposed to be like him swinging a baseball bat. So I'm not going to say that anymore, because that gets very annoying. Other included accessories is this. Pretty much the same thing, just a little scaled down, with blades sticking out at the ends, forming an axe. Now, why in the heck would he have this? I don't know, but it's just an included accessory. I guess it's nice for what it is, even though it just makes no sense. It's got a bit of some sharpness to it, actually, a very pointy areas. So if you're not careful, you could actually cut yourself. So somebody wasn't watching QC. Then we come to this thing. This is the weirdest part about this figure right here. I can forgive everything else except for what they promoted on the back of the packaging. There's the sword. Now, there is nothing wrong with the sword. Yeah, it's beaten up, a few years of play. I don't know why it was played with. I didn't play with these. But, yeah, this is his sheath. This actually, on the back of the packaging, is what they show. Again, this is what he had in the show. This is what the figure uses. I don't know what else to say about that. He also has the ability to turn his visor into Super Samurai mode, but the gimmick is just so broken that the springs on the inside just do not work at all. But as you can see, it is a flawed execution. I mean, there's just too many gaps. It looks like this is just ready to pop off, even though it's not going to pop off, but it's just a mess. This line is a complete mess. I cannot understand why Bandai of America insults my intelligence and insults your intelligence at the same time. What kind of kids would find these figures to be entertaining? They are not entertaining. They are horrible, horrible figures. I cannot recommend these things. These figures, the first time they were pulled out of package, most of their gimmicks just broke on contact. It's like a knockoff. That's what I'm going to call these. These are freaking knockoffs. You call these Power Ranger action figures? No. This is just something out of the norm. I don't even know why I'm actually reviewing these things. And I can see why no one really has reviewed these things on YouTube. There's like no purpose. They just suck. They utterly suck. If you guys want some really cool Power Rangers Ninja Storm action figures, might I recommend the basic figures from Wave 1, the spring line, or you go out there and you purchase the SH Figuarts, because these are the true Power Rangers Ninja Storm action figures. These are what an adult collector should be collecting, not the crappy figures that are behind them. These are the winners. Those are the losers that are right behind them. These figures are awesome. You can pose them in multiple positions. You can make some really nice recreations from the show. There's like no reason to even purchase these things, because all these included accessories are nothing that they used in the show. All of them are just garbage. These freaking things don't stay on for crap, and when they do, they're hard to get off, and you might even risk breaking them. There is like no point to have these figures back here. This is night and day comparison. These figures are what you should get. These figures you should stay away from at all costs. If you can't afford the SH Figuarts, I really hate to say this, but You're just going to have to find an alternative. Just go with the basic Power Rangers Ninja Storm, those light up figures from Wave 1. Go for those. At least those look better in proportion. They're not so freaking bulky. And at least they have a little more in the terms of playability and articulation and actual accessories that they used in the show. So my advice, get these things out of your collection if you have them. They are not worth it. Just scrap them and pretend they never existed in the first place. Because they will just give you a freaking headache like they have been given to me ever since I pulled them out and realized I still had them. So that's it, guys. Overall, this review was a waste of time, but it just had to be said. You guys wanted my opinion. There's my opinion. I'm back. I wonder if some of you are actually regretting your decision on wanting me to come back and do reviews like this. But it's too little too late. I am back. So questions or comments about this review, leave them down below. I'll answer them when I got time. And until we get to something else that's better than what I've reviewed here on camera, that's me, RedX, signing out. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.